Hey traders, this is Rich with BringWithTheMarkets.com. I wanted to talk a little bit about trading journals. I know there are a lot of people out there that want traders to go ahead and implement trading journals. That is okay until you start finding excuses as to why you lost a trade. I don't believe in trading journals. I don't believe in a lot of stuff that people teach. There's valid reasons for that. I don't believe about carrying baggage around. If you don't know how to trade, how are you going to journal? What is it going to do to your psychology? Think about it for a second. What is it going to do to your psychology when you continue to find excuses as to why your trade didn't work out? Have you even been taught how to trade in general? Have you been given a bunch of indicators, minimal education on what a candle looks like, how the market's supposed to move, in their own opinion, what they look for, and all of a sudden you start trading and you were told, just journal, find out what works and what doesn't. How many thousands of traders are doing that? Does that actually work? If you look back in history, all someone had to do is journal and find out what works for you. What are the odds of you being successful? Seriously, what are the odds of you being successful if everything is just thrown on your shoulders and you paid for education? Say you paid $3,000 for an educational course like I have. And they say, oh, it's a lifetime course. We're going to have one-on-one education too. We're going to have one-on-one with one of my team members. Well, what's the definition of lifetime? All of a sudden they shut the course down and leave thousands of traders hanging out to dry. The traders affected most are those that needed the education the most. They threw them to the wolves without warning. They come up with an excuse as to why they no longer have their Discord. They kick people out of their Discord if they're successful. That is a problem. That is a scam. How could you say that this is a lifetime and charge $3,000 for everyone in that course, and then one day disappear? Do they even have a signals group? Trying to explain what you pay for is not what you always get. It doesn't matter how much something costs. It's principle. Are you actually getting your money's worth? Are you learning an edge when you sign up for an education course? More than likely you're not, because more than likely most of them don't have an edge in the market. If you know a trader that understands the market and can view the market, they can look at their trades, someone else's trades, and tell you objectively why they should or should not be taking that trade. Not because of an opinion, not because an opinion of mine or someone else. All of the traders that know how to follow the market understand if that trader should be in the market. It's about probabilities. It's not about winning and losing. It's about taking the highest probability of trade and repeating that over and over again. The market and trading is about probabilities, not being right or wrong. When you have a higher probability of execution, over a period of time, you are going to come out ahead. If you have a lower probability of execution, over time, it will dissolve. You will no longer be able to play in the market. Over a period of time, the probability can go up or the probability can go down based on your education. Keep it a journal. If you were not taught an educational course, how are you going to even keep a journal? Think about it. If you were not taught how to drive, no matter what age, and you get in the car by yourself on farmland, and they had a bunch of cones out there, and you're supposed to drive around and not hit the cones, how many cones would you hit? Just think about it. And all of a sudden, you're supposed to journal on what you did right and wrong? No one even taught you. How do you know what's right and what's wrong? How do you know that's guiding you in the right direction? You don't. More than likely, it's not. Were you told to look at all of your losses and try to find out why you lost a trade? Come up with excuses? whatever fits, whatever comes to mind? Are you full of excuses? Do you live your life with principle, integrity, education? How do you live your life? Do you have excuses every time that you do something wrong? When someone asks you a question, a yes or no question, do you give people sentences when it's a yes or no question? How are you going to journal if you're making excuses for yourself and writing sentences? If you lost a trade, you lost a trade. If you won a trade, you want to trade. Problem is, you don't know whether you were on the right side of the market or not. Just because you won a trade does not mean that was a good trade. I've said this before. If someone teaches you how to do something, you can continue to perfect that skill, and over a period of time, it will get better and better and better. Some people will get better a little quicker than others. That's okay. But the end result is at the same place. Whether you walk or run a 5K for charity, one person's going to get there faster than the other, and the person walking will eventually get there. But they arrive at the same place, not at the same time, but at the same place. Quit looking at your P&L. And if you're looking at your P&L, you shouldn't be trading live in the market. It's not about P&L, it's about skill level. When you journal, what are you going to write? You know nothing about the market. You may think you do, and if you did, you wouldn't be journaling. If I take a trade and I lose a trade, I know immediately why I lost that trade. Is it revenge trading? Is it being greedy and you didn't wait for your setup? There's numerous reasons. Did you size in too much too early and it wiped you out? Those are not excuses. Those are facts if you understand the market. If you size in too much too early and you only have a certain drawdown limit and you didn't have enough room to wait for that trade to prime because it decided to pull back a little bit, what are you going to write? You already know how to trade. What are you going to write? Just because you're successful at something doesn't mean you don't continue to practice, right? What is a journal for? To look back and see what you did right or wrong over a period of time? How are you even going to analyze that? I'm being straightforward with you. I'm not going to powder coat stuff with you. I'm shooting you the facts. If you don't like the facts, this channel's not for you. The reason being is because the facts hurt. Are you paying for education to learn what a candle looks like? A high, low, and close. Are you paying for education on a 3-bar push or dump? What are you paying for? You should ask if they can see the market objectively. Yes, black and white. The market moves in sync. Patterns, big and small, repeat over and over and over again. Algorithms, all of these different names, manipulation. Just because a market is manipulation doesn't mean somebody's going to go in there and commit fraud intentionally and willfully to change the direction of a market. You have to think logically. The market is manipulated. It's just a matter of whether or not somebody can accuse another person of committing fraud to intentionally manipulate the market. Do you understand that? If you are a person that says, oh, if the market was manipulated, there'd be so many people in jail and blah, blah, blah. Fraud is hard to prove. What about insider trading? You know how much insider trading goes on that they don't catch? Do we have honest people throughout the world? When it involves money, that's when people are the most dishonest because money ruins their life. What are you going to do? Are you going to listen to people that say everything so polite and nice and just what you want to hear and oh, it's okay, Johnny. Oh, it's okay, Lisa. You'll be okay. Just keep doing it. I know it's going to take you years and years. I got 10 years of trading. Trust me, it's going to take you forever. And then they start wiping the tears off their face. Bullshit. If you want to become a marksman and you go to a range and you practice and you are taught by someone who understands weapons and you are taught the right way from the beginning, I believe eventually you will be very good. Over time, it's a slow process getting the skill and repeating it. It's not how fast you do something, it's how well you do it from the beginning. And over a period of time, you are going to be able to come on target quicker, naturally, and hit the target. Over a period of time, that speed is going to increase. The accuracy is going to increase. It's a fact. It's a fact. You can train your mind, your skills. Your eyes are not going to lie to you. If I show you something in the chart, it's just not going to disappear. Keep your eyes open. Listen, look, learn, practice, repeat over and over and over again. Are you going to get better over time? The obvious is yes. You will gain a skill if you repeat something that is black and white. For those who don't believe in black and white, yes, you will become efficient, have a higher probability in the market. But everything in general, no matter what you do, continue to hone in on your skills. If you're a gambler, what is a skill? It doesn't take a skill to be a gambler. It just takes money. I'm not a betting man. I like to have a skill. And whatever I do, I like to be the best that I can be. I'm not satisfied. I like to live outside of my comfort zone. So when you journal, are you living outside of your comfort zone, or are you writing stuff to make yourself feel comfortable? I bet you're writing to make yourself feel comfortable. In order to be successful at trading, if people say, oh, that's too much for the education, you get what you pay for. A lot of times you don't. Whose fault is that? I paid for education over and over and over again, not because I didn't know how to trade. I wanted to find out what others are doing and how they see the market through their educational course. I don't regret that. I don't regret it at all. It is imperative that you pay for education, find strategies that will work for you. A person must look at the market objectively and find black and white things that work in the market. It is black and white. The candles print. The market moves. The market repeats itself. The market has patterns. The market shows weak hands all the time. It doesn't matter what time frame you're on. Support and resistance is at every level from the seconds to the month. Is that not black and white? Is that a fact or not? Facts are black and white, right? It's either factual or it's not. The market opens at a certain time. The market closes at a certain time. News comes out at a certain time. Pumps and dumps come out at certain times throughout the market and for different reasons. Where price is at, how it's setting up, how it's priming. Are you going to say that doesn't exist? For those who don't think trading is black and white, you turn on a computer, right? You have your favorite platform, right? You're listening to a gambler. You are listening to a gambler if they don't tell you all of the things I just said. It's right there in front of us. How can you dispute it? Only people that can dispute it are people that don't have the knowledge about the market. They're gamblers. How do you think all of these other people are successful? Do you think writing in a trading journal is going to help you? I don't believe it is. Because I don't believe you had the proper education. If you're writing in the journal, and the reason being is because you're trying to figure out why you lost that trade. And you're writing in there why you lost the trade, when you should automatically know why you lost the trade. Why you need to write it down? I don't believe you've been taught how to view the market objectively. Because if you know how to view the market objectively, you wouldn't have to write excuses in a journal. Those excuses are going to continue to put you back further and further and further in your trading career or in your hobby. This is a hobby for me. I'm retired. It's a hobby. It's a passion of mine. I want to give back to the community. And whether I have one student, hundreds of students, thousands of students, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. I'm looking for someone who is teachable, a student that is teachable. The next time that you look at your journal, ask yourself, do I look at the market objectively? Am I following a gambler? Do I really have a strategy? Because if you really have an objective strategy in the market, you would not have to journal. You automatically know that you screwed up and you know the reason. Focus on you. Focus on your skill. And if you want to learn how I trade and how I view the market, go to breathingwiththemarkets.com and click the link below. Like and subscribe. Peace, traders. I wish you well.